Welcome to Unit 2. We've made it through the introductory materials, and now the course starts to get more exciting. In this unit, we discuss the relationship between authentic assessments and academic integrity. Educators often worry about students not practicing academic integrity and therefore not benefiting from the learning opportunities presented to them. This unit will outline how course and assessment design can promote academic integrity. By focusing on strategies that engage and motivate learners, instructors can create an environment that promotes both academic integrity and deeper learning. In Unit 2, we will cover the following learning outcomes. We'll recognize the importance of learner engagement and motivation in establishing academic integrity, and we'll identify design principles and features that support academic integrity. Academic integrity is the moral code of academia, and it can be defined as the use, generation, and communication of information in an ethical, honest, and responsible manner. Academic integrity violations, including cheating, fabrication of information, facilitating academic misconduct, and plagiarism, have reached an alarming level that threatens to undermine the value of post-secondary credentials. While academic integrity has reached a new height of concern, the situation is far from new. Whitley reviewed the prevalence of cheating in 107 studies from 1970 to 1996, and the prevalence of total cheating in these studies ranged from 9% to 95%, with a mean of 70.4% of students admitting to committing some form of academic integrity violation during their studies. More recent research from the International Center for Academic Integrity concluded 40% of students admitted to committing academic integrity violations. 40% is consistent with Whitley's finding that 43.1% of students cheat on exams, 40.9% of students cheat on homework, and 47% of students engaged in plagiarism. This table highlights that academic integrity is a worldwide phenomenon, and it should be noted that most of these studies used self-reporting methodologies to determine the rate of cheating. Self-reporting studies may underreport, so it's conceivable that the percentage of students who actually cheated is higher than documented in some of these studies, though you can't get much higher than 80% or 94%. Whatever the real prevalence of academic integrity violations is in your context, it's likely higher than faculty, administrators, and the public would be comfortable with. It's very important to note that students engage in academic integrity violations for lots of very different reasons. Students, especially international students, are under increasing pressure to be successful, and there are important rewards to be gained for all students. A job, a salary, and a career are at stake. As students feel this pressure, there are opportunities to be dishonest, and the truth is, they'll probably get away with it. Cheating has been normalized, and some people do it just because it feels good. Other students don't cheat because it violates their ethical codes and the codes of their institutions. They worry about the risk and the consequences, but they couldn't do it because it would, and sometimes they choose not to do it because it would undermine their sense of integrity and their learning goals. But whatever good or bad reason that leads students to commit academic integrity violations, it's important to take academic integrity seriously because it has symbolic and real costs. In a non-controversial title that's unlikely to raise the hackles of anyone listening to this talk, Bryan Caplan argues that post-secondary credentials are mostly signals or symbols, and the economic impact of degrees has long been referred to as the sheepskin effect. Why discourage cheating, Caplan asks? Because detecting and punishing cheaters preserves the signaling value of your school's diploma. When more of your students cheat their way to graduation, firms that hire your students are less likely to get the smart, hardworking team players they're paying for. Every time your school expels a cheater, you protect the good names of your graduates, past, present, and future. But the damage of academic integrity is not just symbolic. There are real-world consequences to academic integrity violations. Studies suggest a relationship exists between students who cheat in an academic setting and the level of unethical conduct displayed in the workplace. And this extended incompetence could seriously jeopardize human safety. This would be especially true for healthcare fields or fields working with physical materials, such as engineering or trades. And yet, despite its prevalence and its seriousness, by all accounts, the reporting of academic integrity seems to be a relatively rare event. Even though estimates suggest that at least 40% of undergraduate students commit some form of academic misconduct during their studies, including those engaged in contract cheating, faculty overwhelmingly choose not to report violations. It's likely that less than 1% of academic integrity violations are reported. The chances of student getting caught and reported is, according to Bertram, Gallant, and Stevens, vanishingly small. Faculty are best situated to identify, report, and address academic integrity violations, but there appears to be a lack of concerted action on the part of faculty to address academic integrity violations. In their comprehensive literature review, Thomas and DeBruin catalog why faculty might be reluctant to report violations. Disincentives include a denial of the problem or a denial of the harmful consequences of academic integrity, the significant effort involved in enforcement, a lack of buy-in to formal policies and procedures that are too cumbersome and may take away time from research or publications, inconsistent enforcement of academic misconduct policies by other faculty and programs, the application of inappropriate penalties. Reporting also adds a dose of self-induced misery to the faculty's life. It creates animosity with students and it disturbs relationships. In addition to the lack of concerted effort on faculty to catch and report students, and the likelihood that students will get away with cheating, students are more likely to cheat in learning environments that are less personalized, less involving, less satisfying, less task-oriented, and less individualized. And this is precisely where authentic assessments come in, because they have the chance to create more personalized, more involving, more task-oriented learning experiences. Now, more than any other time in history may finally be the era of authentic assessments. Even before the pandemic, the current work environment was increasingly technologically mediated, geographically distant, international, and team-based. All these trends have intensified since the pandemic began. Authentic tasks, as we saw in Unit 1, are ill-defined and complex, perfect for a rapidly changing COVID-19 world. Working on ill-defined tasks in ill-defined circumstances provides the opportunity to collaborate, confronting the dual challenges of interactivity and authenticity. Designing authentic assessments is challenging, but can be fun and creative work, and well-designed assessments provide opportunities for reflection while creating polished products valuable in their own right. Because authentic assessments connect to a student's learning goals in relevant ways, because they contain the power that activate their ethical beliefs, they might decide that cheating isn't worth the risk, because engaging in the learning experience is more important and rewarding than cheating. Thank you. In the next video, we'll talk more about how authentic assessments can influence student behavior so that they engage in the assessment task rather than hiring someone to do it for them.